Hello, I'm Nigel Ward, and this video recreates my presentation at SigDial 2022, the 23rd annual meeting of the Special Interest Group on Discourse and Dialogue. So, for dialogue researchers and developers, most of the work relies on a corpus. Choosing the right corpus is important. How to do this? Well, some of us finesse the issue by collecting a new corpus for every new project, but ideally we'd like to reuse existing resources. There are a lot of corpora out there. Once you pick one, then things may be straightforward. You can apply whatever techniques you have to either derive some new insight about language or dialogue, or to train or tune a dialogue system for some specific purpose. But how do you select the right corpus? Well, it's a kind of a chaotic mess. There may be some things we can use. There may be topic tags for some, like about movies. There may be demographic tags or situation tags, like involves a robot. We also may have some dimensions, like from informal to formal, or from task-oriented to chatty. But today there's nothing systematic you can use to help you select a corpus. Worse, suppose you need to combine corpora. Suppose you need more data, either from a somehow similar corpus, or subset of a corpus, or something that usefully extends the coverage of your basic corpus in some new way. So what we need to support all of this is a way to characterize spoken dialogue corpora. And we need a dimensional model, not a taxonomy or a tag set. And I think it should be based on interaction styles, especially if we're concerned about dialogue. People interested in semantic modeling, then maybe it's better to organize the corpora by topic or genre. But for dialogue purposes, where we care about the usability of our dialogue systems, match in terms of interaction styles is probably the most important thing. By interaction styles, I mean things like these. On the x-axis, a dimension distinguishing corpora, where the participants are both highly engaged from those where they're not. On the y-axis, a dimension distinguishing dialogues rich in positive assessments versus those rich in negative feelings. On the z-axis, whether the speakers are sharing the floor or adopting distinct roles as speaker and listener. These are the top 3 dimensions. 5 more are described in the paper. So we've produced not just a descriptive model, we release software that can take any corpus or subcorpus or dialogue fragment and compute where it falls in this space. This may help you decide if it's what you really want. Further, if you have other possible corpora and you want to find candidates to use to augment your basic data set, you can use simple similarity, weighting whatever dimensions are most important for your purposes. Now the red corpus here is actually the subset of dialogues labeled woodworking in Switchboard. So we might imagine that you're interested in building a dialogue system that will chat about woodworking. What interaction styles would be appropriate? What subcorpora could you use to augment the basic small data set? Well, according to the model, the closest is metric system, and the farthest is painting. That might seem like a bug, but in fact, people talking about woodworking generally don't need a lot of shared engagement. They tend to be happy to explain their latest project, and they tend to be pretty positive about it. So both of these things are shared properties with engineers talking about the uses of the metric system for whatever projects they're doing, and very different from the style of amateurs talking about home painting projects that they may have struggled with or botched entirely. So, a dimensional model in terms of interaction styles provides added value over just thinking about topics. All right, where did this model come from? It's not magic. In fact, it was described in our SigDial paper last year, 2021. In short, we take interaction behavior statistics related to prosodic patterns and turn-taking, run it through principal component analysis, derive a model, and as I suggested, that's useful for corpus selection, and also for detecting outlier or dialogues, outliers that you'd want to exclude from your training or modeling. So that's it. At our website, you can download visualizations, explanations, and the code itself, ready to try and apply. And that concludes this presentation.